So it would seem the foodie was angry last night. I went to bed early. I had a bit of a headache. So I went to bed early. I took some aspirin, just went to bed. I had an earache, headache situation, and I just tapped out because the pain got to be too much after my last react. And while I was sleeping, Foodie was awake. And not only was she awake, but she was in her community post, posting post after post after post after post after post, where she was angry and just going completely off. I'm not quite sure why she was going off. It could be a number of things. It could be because Sala was out last night and she wasn't happy. Maybe she called him and he wasn't picking up the phone. I'm not exactly sure. But she posted community post after community post after community post, raging at different reactors. And the icing on the cake is her doing a community post where she basically self confessed to doxing Perfectly Imperfect, who is a reactor on YouTube. Perfectly Imperfect is one of the people that Foodie likes to go on the most, on top of French Fry Girl and Kaya. Foodie has select targets of people she likes to go after, and Perfectly Imperfect is one of them. So she did a community post confessing that she doxed Perfectly Imperfect. Now, if you're someone and you have a YouTube channel and you don't like another person on YouTube who has a YouTube channel, no matter how much you don't like them, no matter how much you don't like them as a person, maybe you don't like their content, maybe you don't like the things they're saying. No matter how much you don't like that person or their opinions or their feelings or their thoughts, you shouldn't be doxing the person, where they live, their family members, their job. Under no circumstances should you do that. It's just not right. The hatred of a person on YouTube should not result in someone's job being taken away or endangered, or perhaps their family members or friends. I mean, that's just taking it entirely too far. But Foodie is someone that she likes to cry victimhood. She likes to say, I'm a victim. I don't do anything wrong. I don't hurt anybody. But how can you do that, Foodie, and at the same time dox other people? How can you cry victim at the same time you confess in a community post what you've done? So I want to go over her community posts and also some other cool stuff I found on Twitter just to update you guys. And that'll be it for this React. So let me just go ahead and share the screen and show you guys everything. Okay. Because a lot of her community posts that she posted last night, she's already dirty deleted. That's the norm with Foodie. She'll get angry. She'll post a bunch of stuff in live streams or her community posts, and then she tries to get around the YouTube system of reporting by quickly deleting everything before YouTube has a chance to look at it or to see it and take action. She knows how to abuse the system and get away with it. So let's start here first. This is from Kat. You know, I love this. I love black cats. A lot of people may have superstitions about black cats, but I can tell you, as someone that I've owned a black cat, black cats are no different than any other cat. They are very loving, they're very full of life, they're very cuddly. There's nothing bad or ominous about a black cat. So anybody that has superstitions about a black cat being evil or they're bad omens or they're just bad energy, can I just say you're completely wrong? Black cats are wonderful. And so I would love just having a household full of black cats. I think that would just be absolutely delightful. I see some black cats there. I see some tuxedo cats with the white bibs. That's just amazing to me. So many black cats in one place. Oh, look at them. They're gorgeous. Gorgeous, well taken care of animals. They look so healthy. Their coats are shiny. Gorgeous, gorgeous babies. This is from Cats That Heal Your Depression. So I guess the cat's like, "You're not a dog now. You are my official Uber. You have to carry me around. That's just it. No arguments. Oh, and I also, when I want to take a nap, you're going to be my pet bed." The dog's like, "What?" Well, this cat's got it all twisted. I'm not a cat bed, but it seems to think I am. Can you please fix this? Can you get her a cat bed, please? What a gorgeous babies. This is from HY Bender. The cheetah is the fastest land animal on earth, but not everyone loves speeders. So this poor cheetah's like, "What?" "I'm just doing what cheetahs do, and you're giving me a ticket?" And the officer's like, "You were going 105 in a 25 zone, ma'am. We have to give you a ticket. I don't care if you're a wild animal. Speeding is not permitted around here. You have to slow it down." What a great picture. This is from Fascinating. A swan feeds some fish. So look at the fish following the duck, the swan around. It's amazing. The fish aren't stupid. They're like, "Hey, this bird can feed us, man. We're here for it. We want to get our free num nums. We'll take it." Okay, this is from Katie. This has to do with the post about Perfectly Imperfect. So Foodie posted, "Before I go, Perfectly Imperfect, your job just got wind of your YouTube channel. They should know you have a bully channel while you are responsible for teaching little ones not to bully others. Make a reaction to your eyebrows, weirdo. And before you boo-hoo, this blank is the one who posted my personal financial info, so no sympathy." Here's the thing, Foodie. The info that Perfectly Imperfect posted, it was public record. It was public record. That means it's accessible to everyone. Public record means the public is allowed to research it and look at it. But you doxing her because you are still not okay with what she did, you're like just going after her, is incorrect. You have your job on YouTube. You make your money on YouTube. This is your only source of income, but you seem to think it's okay to go after somebody else's source of income, their livelihood, the way that they might be supporting themselves and their family members. You're being evil and petty, ma'am. What you're doing is not okay. And of course, this was a post that she got rid of because she can get in trouble for it. A lot of people have already reported the post, but in true Foodie fashion, she got rid of it before YouTube could do anything. Mrs. Robinson says, "Happy Ramadan, y'all. The spiritual journey of the holy month is going very well. Countdown in on last time she lasted 9 hours." This is another post that Foodie did. She says, "I've decided I'm going to take a break from YouTube and focus on myself. Also, I see vultures are already picking apart and turning what I say into their own fact when they know nothing as usual. I made an error when I said he can't go to Syria. I meant we, because we will always travel together. Yeah, but you didn't say we, you said him. And as far as you taking a break from YouTube, you can't take a break from YouTube, Foodie. You can't. You can't leave YouTube. You have no other platforms that are making you money. You have rent and bills to pay over in Kuwait. You have to pay for Sala. So if you take a break from YouTube, where's your money going to come from? You're not well established on Twitch. You're not well established on, say, Patreon or OnlyFans. There is no other platform where you have a strong presence and you're making a great deal of money. So if you have one job, which is YouTube, and this is where you're making your money, how can you take a break? You have nothing in savings. You can't live off of savings. There are none. So how can you take a break? And even if you did have savings, Foodie, YouTube is where you get your attention. You're living in Kuwait. You don't have a wide circle of friends. You don't have any social activities that you do. You're basically in that house 24 hours a day, and I'm sure that gets boring. So how are you going to stay away from YouTube if that's your only source of interacting with people? If that's your only way to combat boredom and, of course, your occasional temper tantrum. Syria is dangerous to travel for anyone right now. I really think your community is majorly messed up. If you feel it's okay to dive into personal lives when you don't know someone's story fully. Oh, so you're saying people shouldn't dive into a personal story, but here you are confessing to doxing Perfectly Imperfect. Wouldn't that be on the same line of diving into somebody's personal story, diving into their personal life? I think so, Foodie. You're trying to mess with somebody's income. You're trying to mess with somebody's job. And that's just messed up. It's also not okay to mess with livelihood of innocent people. Yes, yes. It's not okay to mess with the livelihood of innocent people. Hello, Perfectly Imperfect. If she's a teacher, you're messing with her livelihood, ma'am. And for what? Because she's got a channel and she's reacting to you and she's doing videos about you and you don't like it, but you feel it's okay to mess with her livelihood. You're taking advantage of the fact that you're on YouTube. You don't have a per se normal professional job, but you're trying to take advantage of the fact that somebody else does have one, that they have an employer they have to answer to. You're trying to leverage an advantage over that. That somebody is employed, they have to answer to somebody, you don't have anybody to answer to. That's messed up. That is messed up, ma'am. It's okay to pick apart and body shame us for hours on a live stream. Foodie, this is something that you do. This is something that you do. You've body shamed people. You have picked apart people. You've picked apart their appearance. You've picked apart where they live, how they live, what kind of dwelling they might be in. How many insults have we heard from you about living in a Motel 6? How many? Quite a few. Trying to imply the French fry girl lived in a Motel 6. She doesn't. But even if she did, what's wrong with that? The Motel 6 rooms are a lot better and a lot bigger than what you're living in right now. They're a lot cleaner, a lot more spacious, and bonus, you get a key to the front door and you can enter and leave anytime you want, which is more than I could say about your place in Kuwait. You can't even leave. You're stuck there. So don't crap on the Motel 6, ma'am. Don't crap on Kaya for where she lives. Don't crap on FFG for where she lives. Don't crap on anybody for where they live. If you want to live in Kuwait with Salah in a small apartment, good for you. But don't look down your nose at other people for where they might be living because, unlike you, those people living in those dwellings, they have a key. They can enter and leave as they wish, and it belongs to them. It belongs to them. You can't say that about your apartment. I'm sure it's not even in your name. It's honestly deplorable, and these same drain rats have the nerve to call me vile. Well, if the shoe fits. I know I have tried this before, but I'm done with YouTube for a while. Hopefully forever. I may seek another platform in the future because I will miss my beezers, but I will not be part of a platform of vultures and disgusting people. Foodie, don't get our hopes up. Don't get our hopes up. Okay. You have quit YouTube I don't know how many times. You have said I'm taking a break, but you never do. 2 days and you come right back. You can't afford to leave YouTube. That's just facts. You're over there thousands of dollars behind in your taxes. You're over in Kuwait, living in a very modest way, which suggests that you don't have a lot of money because we know you. Everything you do is grandiose. It has to be bigger than what it is in order to satisfy your narcissistic ego. It has to be bigger than what it is. If you're living simply, it's not because you want to, it's because you have to. We remember, we remember all the way back to where you and Pete were looking for a place together. He wanted to stay in a place that was within his price range, but you convinced him to move into the villa, which was beyond his price range, just because you wanted a nice place. And then when the two of you were supposed to move into another house, that house was what? Say it with me. It was a mansion, supposedly a mansion. And then Pete's told on you and said, no, it's not a mansion. It's just a simple house. But of course, everything with you has to be grandiose. It has to be big, majestic, more than what it is in order to make it seem like you're doing better than what you are. So you're living simply, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. But you're living in a humble way and you're putting this narrative like, this is how I want to live. It's good to live in a humble way. You're doing it only because you have to. And I'm just going to say it, my opinion. I think you're living in a simple way because you can't afford to live in a nice big place. You got to get the majority of your money perhaps for your taxes or to Sala. In order to do that, you have to live in a simple way. But saying you're going to seek another platform, ma'am, whatever platform you go on, whether it's Twitch or TikTok or Patreon or OnlyFans, every time you start up a platform, it takes time to get it going. It takes time to build up people that are watching you and people that are your clientele and people that are paying for your content and to get the views and so forth. You know this. That's why you can't leave YouTube. Because if you went to another platform, you'd have to start all over again, and that takes time. And in the meantime, you need money. You need money for yourself. You need money for Sala. You need money for your food habit. Where is that going to come from if you're letting go of the one platform where you've established yourself? Okay, this is from No Cats, No Life. Aw. Mom's like, come here, I got to clean the baby. How beautiful is that? Give me my baby. Nothing But Love says, this is what happens when your fake husband locks you in your apartment. This is also from Book Lady. So Foodie was raging. She was raging post after post after post. Uh, this is her talking about just breezing. Oh, and boozing today, you literally are going to put your poor daughter, I say poor because she has to put up with you through college on hating me. Nice example you are. Well, Foodie, let me just turn the tables on you for a minute. Here you are, a newly reverted Muslim woman. You took on a new name, but unfortunately not a new personality or a new outlook on life. You're still the same raging, angry, salty, bitter, unhappy person you ever were. And that unhappiness and saltiness and bitterness and hatefulness, no matter what clothing you put on, it still shines right through. Ramadan is coming up. You should be putting yourself in check. You should be getting yourself in balance and praying more and trying to be more even keel with your emotions and your feelings, but you're not. You're not. It's a shame. You have the Quran sitting right next to your bed, and you're not reading the Quran. You're not trying to be happier or more Zen like. You're doing all of your raging before Ramadan starts. Here's another one. Foodie says, just a reminder also before the pearl clutching begins, I only ever really rage when pushed to the limit. So what pushed you to the limit to do all these posts? I don't understand. Because I reacted to your last live last night, which I've heard has been deleted, but the reaction channels were not in the VIP chat bothering you. So who pushed you to rage? Humans have limits, and learning to smile through constant blank of myself, my husband, and family is very hard to do, and most can't even do it. This is a comparison to people following me in public to take photos, to body shame me. Who's following you? Are you talking about the picture that appeared on Reddit? You don't know who took that picture. That might have been somebody just taking a picture and maybe they recognized you from YouTube. Doesn't mean they were a reactor. People making countless streams for hours to body, home, etc. shame with literal panels of adults. Foodie, the reacts of your home, of the apartment, people were pointing out just the things that didn't make sense, the hazards in the home, the fact that you're in an apartment where you don't even have a key. You can't even get out of the apartment, and you certainly can't fit through that tiny window. And there's also all kinds of fire hazards and hazards where you can get electrically shocked because you've got the washer and the dryer in the wet bathroom. People are pointing out just like the layout that didn't make sense. Anyway, uh, no mat. Oh, she's trying to insult No Madness Life, which No Madness Life is great. What even are you? You literally look like a big, ugly foot. No, she doesn't. She's lovely. I love her humor. She doesn't look like that. And Foodie, can we talk? She has some beauty products that people absolutely love. She's an entrepreneur. She sells her own stuff. You know, she's getting it done. Trying to insult No Madness Life. How dare you? Stop being Islamophobic with your stupid self, making fun of Salah's Distasha. You are an adult. Grow the heck up and learn something about the culture. You and Kyra literally have planets growing on your faces. Oh, so we are look shaming now, are we? We're look shaming now. Is that what we're doing? No, they don't have planets growing on their faces. So in that one community post, she's complaining about people talking about her body, and at the same time, she's talking about other people's bodies and faces and what they have on their faces. Foodie, you can't do that. You can't sit there and complain about something and be guilty of it yourself. Do you understand? You can't put out this vibe of it's okay for me to be nasty and hateful and complain about other people that are giving what you perceive that same energy. Like like at that point the playing field is even, is it not? It's not. If you're hateful to somebody, that gives them license to be hateful right back. Lead by example. Nothing But Love says it's a novel. She's big mad. Here's another one. I know you can't read it. Let me see if I can blow it up. Can I blow this up? Let's see. Sorry, I'm just trying to blow it up so you guys can see. Why is it getting smaller? Okay, I mean, that's the best I can do for that one. Ah, goodness gracious. Sorry about that. Okay, I'll just read it. Sorry about the small type. It says, imagine being body shamed every day by these disgusting creatures. Imagine. French fried gullet. She's talking about French fried girl. You can make a hijab with your chins. And whoever the heck you are in purple, who's she talking about? Barney the dinosaur. You look like that dentist elf from Rudolph with a bad dye job. Who is she talking about? Is she talking about Milky Chai? Because Milky Chai is lovely. And I love her hair, by the way, Foodie. I love the dye job in her hair. FFG should stop wearing Adidas. Why? Adidas is awesome. It's athletic wear, and the only exercise you'll get is stalking me and sniffing at my scraps. You know what? Listen, Foodie. Hey, What is wrong with wearing something comfortable? What's wrong? I'm wearing a pair of jogging pants right now. What's wrong with athletic wear? It's comfy. It works. Why are you mad? Getting this mad over somebody wearing Adidas. How do you have teeth that don't show when you smile? Foodie, foodie, ma'am, your dental hygiene is not the best, so it's not a good idea to try to insult somebody else's teeth. You understand? You look like the rejected garbage pail kid that was too fugly to make it to the trading cards. Hey, I like garbage pail kids. They were awesome. How can you make fun of Salah's looks when he's literally a 10 out of 10 and the only men in your pathetic sad life is just saying and your brother? What's wrong with having family? You're insulting her for having family and getting along with her family. You don't get along with your family. Your family doesn't like you, and for good reason, because of the way you behave and the way you talk, and you're selfish and you're self-centered, narcissistic, and spoiled. Your family can't stand you, Foodie, and I don't blame them. And let's be clear, Foodie. Let's be clear. Salah, in my opinion, he's just a sex doll of a different type. Okay, one that you got to keep paying for and one that you are not being intimate with. All right. And for some reason, you seem to think that a person doesn't have worth unless they're in a relationship or they're married. You could be a person and be single and have tons of self worth and self pride and not be in a relationship. Sometimes being single makes sense. If you haven't found anybody that you're vibing with, that are not on board with you, you guys aren't on the same level, you're not on the same wavelength, or maybe you yourself, you've got issues, you've got work to do on yourself, this, and you say to yourself, I need to work on me. I know this. And so I am going to work on myself and better myself with no distractions rather than get into a relationship I know I shouldn't be in and everything's going to get messy and everything's going to be sad and there's going to be a lot of fighting. To avoid all of that, I'm going to make the smart decision for me and stay alone until I fix myself. Sometimes single just makes sense. Some people are happy being alone. They don't have to cling onto a guy to be worth something or to have some sort of worth. That is you, that is not other people. Also, your new stupid brainless bimbo friend Funkle F, who thinks being thin means something. I don't give a crap how much you weigh. Your body may be thin, but your stupidity is heavy. You and FFG both collectively have personalities of chunky horse crap, which is why you both have to make content about me, someone with a personality. Well, just because you got personality doesn't mean it's a good personality, Foodie. And you are the kind of person that even if, let's just say, for argument's sake, you did lose a lot of weight. Let's just say you were, I don't know, 120 pounds. You would still be deplorable. You would still be awful. You would still be evil. You would still be a spoiled, rotten brat with the temperament of an angry toddler. The weight is not the issue. It's the person inside that's the issue. And the person inside, if it's awful, it's going to be awful no matter what the pounds are on your body. And I will die on the hill with this. You strike me as that kind of a person that if you lost a lot of the weight, you would be 10 times as awful as you are now. You would be so arrogant, your ego would be so overblown that you would be that person that even though you are super morbidly obese now, if you were not super morbidly obese and you lost the weight, you would be that person that you would make fun of people who were overweight. Even though you once were overweight, at that point, if you lost the weight, you would make fun of people who are overweight. Oh, look at that person. Look how big they are. That would be you. You'd be all up in your ego. Yes, you would. You wouldn't take the experience of being super morbidly obese and remember what that was like and be kind to people who might be heavy. No, you be arrogant and evil and mean girl-ish with it. If you were so hot, make content of your own. No one gives a crap about just another basic trashy wannabe FFG fupa sucker on the internet. So looks have very little to do with anything. My man finds me sexier, and I also find him sexy. All 1,334 pounds of me. Is that how much you weigh these days, Foodie? Come on, you know you're exaggerating. Uh, Many women try to talk to him on social media, and he has better, so he will never engage. Foodie, I'm betting dimes to donuts that Sala has another phone that you don't know about. Like I said before, if a man wants to cheat, if he wants to talk to another woman, he will find a time, a place, a person, and an opportunity to do what he wants to do. And if you're at the house and if he's leaving and he's going places, trust me, he will find the time. He will find the opportunity. He's locking you in for a reason, girl. Not just because he wants to hide you away, but because he wants to know that you aren't going anywhere. And he's got complete freedom to run around and do what he wants to do. Just because you look at his phone, the number one phone, and you see he's not talking to women, don't mean it ain't happening. He's a younger man, and if he's not getting his jollies with you, he's getting them somewhere else. Okay, he's finding his jollies somewhere other than your place and with you. You know, you're the starfish queen. I'm sorry, starfishing is boring. It's boring. Okay, I'm sure he wants a little more excitement in his life, and it ain't going to be found with you. And of course, he's not going to engage with other women in front of you. You're the cash cow that he's milking for cash. You know, he's going to put up appearances. Oh, no, I'm not talking to other women to keep that paycheck going. Okay, so keep on fooling yourself, Foodie. Keep on fooling yourself. Keep doing it. He'll keep getting the money, and then when he gets enough, when he gets to his goal, he's going to drop you like a hot potato. And let's see what we got here from Queen of WTF. Okay, this is one of the posts. Oh, here's another one. She says, a reaction channel calling me a beast, but supports this creature. Also, dummy, he's lived here his whole life, him and his family, talking about Salah. He doesn't need to go to Syria. He will stay here and also travel for many years. Honestly, Foodie, I'm wondering how you're going to travel. You can barely walk, and you're not slowing down with the food. You are a carb addict, ma'am. I was once a carb addict. You love your sugar, and carbs essentially turn into sugar. You like your bread. Bread are carbs, which then turns into sugar. You like your soda. You like potatoes. You like your poutine. Whenever you go out to eat, a lot of what you eat is very carb heavy. You're not about vegetables and fruits. You are about sugar. Sugar, sugar everywhere. And cheese, lots and lots of cheese, which is essentially fat. Cheese is fat. So if you're in a place now where you got to keep the AC down to less than 70 degrees, and it's not even deep summer yet, and even with that, you're sweating in your house, and it's too hot to even cook, and you can't cook because you don't have your office chair there, how are you going to travel? What are you going to do? How are you going to travel? How? I'd love to know. I am using him for sponsorship as he's the one sponsoring me now. You know, nothing as usual. There are no disgusting warrants like this here, and I will never live in the West again. Yay! Good news, everybody. She's not coming back here. I hate this disgusting mentality. Go have fun getting content with your own sad, pathetic lives. Thank you. Thank you very much. Like we didn't need your permission, but thank you. That means I get to do more gaming content, y'all. I get to do more ambiance. I can react to other people. I'm celebrating right now. Play the celebration song. And also, on that note, I just ordered a new microphone because the one I've got right now that I'm speaking on, it's a clip-on microphone, and I do know that it sounds like I'm speaking through a pipe. I don't like that. So I'm upgrading to a better microphone so I can sound better for you guys. You're literally picking apart my life when you have none yourselves, and this is why you hide. Cowards, this is how you losers spend your lives. I can't. Foodie, you know and you have known that yourself and the reaction channels, we have a symbiotic relationship. One hand washes the other. You depend on the reaction channels to talk about you, and we react to you. But you don't want to acknowledge that symbiotic relationship. YouTube is all you have. This is your only source of income beyond the feeders sending you money on PayPal for requests that you do on YouTube. But this is it for you. You were not smart long ago and made a bunch of money and put the money away, socked it away, invested it in a business, none of that. You literally live paycheck to paycheck. By coming out to the reaction channels, you are literally biting the hand that feeds you. Not a good thing. Not a good thing. Not a good thing. And the interest in your content is waning by the day. It's boring. Your content is boring. You know, it's getting harder and harder for the reaction channels to keep it interesting. That's just facts. And yet you don't have the mentality where you're seeing it and you're fixing the problem before things really go down the tubes. But if this is what you want to do, if you want to just let things go down the tubes, it's your channel, it's your choice. But know this, we as reactors, we are adaptable. There are other people to react to. There's other content that we can do. There's a lot of creative people in the community, very creative people. We can do funny videos. We can do clip videos. We can put things together. We will adapt. But the question is, well, can you adapt? I don't think you can. I think you've gotten so lazy and complacent and stuck in a rut, so spoiled on the system of doing very little and expecting big rewards for it. I don't think you know how to think outside your little tiny self-made box. You keep going on the mentality of I can stick to the same formula and it's always going to work. Trust me, it's not. It's no longer working. You keep lying. You keep putting out the same boring content. People aren't buying it like they used to. You know, you've got to expand. You've got to break out of that mold if you ever want to survive. But it's like I said, it's your call, Chantal. It's your call. You want to be lazy, you want to be spoiled, you want to stick to the formula and get broke, go ahead. This is from Mrs. Robinson saying he's stuck. He's using you to get to Canada, talking about Sala. He's just dumb. He stumbled upon a smelly, broke biatch. He still wants those papers. Keep howling, you lying liar. You know, I don't think Sala is using her for citizenship. I've heard that if he gets a certain amount in his bank account, that he can self-sponsor himself. So I don't know if that's going on, but I think at the very least, Sala is just saying, you know what? She's got money, and as long as she's got money, I'm here. I'll take whatever I can get from her, and I'll make it work for me, and I'm just going to stay on this roller coaster until it comes to a full stop. You know, he's going to just get whatever he can get out of Foodie in whatever form that comes in. This is from Perfectly Imperfect saying, at Team YouTube, once again, Foodie Beauty has been allowed to dox my name, state of employer and dog whistle for her audience to take things off platform and contact my work to get me fired. And she gives a timestamp. And once again, you do nothing. And you know why perfectly? Because Foodie, she knows how to work the system. She'll post stuff up, and before anybody can report her, before YouTube looks at it, she gets rid of it. And then YouTube comes back around, puts their hands up and says, well, we didn't see it, so we can't do anything about it. Yes, you can, YouTube. There's a record. You guys are just lazy. This is from Truth Is saying, oh, my Lanta, it's quitting time again for Foodie Beauty Channel. This time she decided to leave YouTube with a how-to on ruining her and Sala's life. She's permanently ducking the bankruptcy court and Canada's tax folks and contacting jobs is based, says Chantal. Yeah, she says she's staying out of Canada for 4 years. Why 4 years? That's very specific, Chantal. That's very curious. Why did you say 4 years? Is that how long it will take to straighten out the mess over there where you can go back? I wonder. I wonder. And see. The Angry Scott says, raging during Ramadan? And of course, she posted something about French Fry Girl. Queen of WTF says, did she sleep at all? Apparently not, Queen. I went to bed last night and I wake up to this madness going on. Uh, what is this? Oh, she's going on off on Frenchie again. Again? Look at this. You can always tell how angry Foodie is by how long the post is. Like she was just mad. She was just mad. I'm gonna take a stab in the dark, y'all. I'm gonna take a stab in the dark. I think her raging like this last night, she was angry at Sala, and yet she was taking out her anger on Sala on all of us. That's what I think. That's my opinion. You guys can tell me what you think. I think she was angry that he was out all night, and she was just seething about that, and her threatening to quit YouTube. That was her being manipulative and her trying to manipulate and control Sala by indirectly saying to him, I'm going to quit YouTube. And if he's depending on her for money, you know, like she's basically threatening, hey, I'm not going to make any money, blah, blah, blah. You got to stay at home with me. Yeah, she was throwing a temper tantrum. And I think he had something to do with it. Let's see. Uh, oh, this is the rest of that post. If I ever change, it will be for health only. The fact that such a sexy man loves my body every day and night. You see how she puts that on all caps? She put the shouty capitals out there. Loves my body every day and night. Oh, is that a fact? Is that a fact? Really? Hold on. I got something to show y'all. Wait a minute. I got to go find it. Now, I won't take credit for this because I saw this on Twitter and I saw it. I'm like, what? Is that a thing? Is that a thing? And then I took a good look and I'm like, OMG. OMG. All right. Let's see. I'm sorry. I got to keep sharing the screen. Doggone it. So your man loves you every night, huh, Foodie? He loves you every night. He loves you the most. Y'all take a look at this. Take a look at this. What's that? What's that? That's not a power drill. That's not a power drill. Now, I hate to say, I'm going to try my best not to be crude or lewd. That is a massager. Right next to the Quran. What's that for, Foodie? What's it for? Hmm? Now, I know she's in Kuwait, and I'm sure because she's in Kuwait, they are not allowed to sell adult toys. But maybe because it's a massager, those are allowed. So, you put it together, what that might be for. Hmm. What's that? What's that, Foodie? What is that? He loves you every night? Really? And hey, there's nothing wrong with having a massager if you got one. I'm just saying, she's like, he loves me so much and he loves me every night. Really? Hmm. Because from what I saw that apartment, there's not much in the way of his stuff being there. So it seems like you're all alone in the apartment and you're taking care of your own needs. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. And there's nothing wrong with taking care of your own needs for those who might be interested. All right, so let's go back to the Twitters. He loves your body every night, causes you to seethe and read like the pig you are and find fault in our home. Nobody nobody cares if her and Sala are intimate. Nobody cares. I don't care. I don't care if they're intimate or not. That's their business. It's not my business. I don't want that picture in my head. Again, I will say it for the brainless in the back. We don't care what you think of our home, and I would live in I would live in a Motel 6 if I had to. Well, here's the thing, Foodie. If you don't care what people think, why are you paying attention? People who don't care about something don't pay attention to something. The more you pay attention, the more it shows you do care. You care so much that if people have their opinions, their thoughts, and their feelings that they put into a live stream or a video, it makes you angry. So you care very much. If you had an I don't care attitude, you might feel a lot more zen like, a lot more peaceful. Somebody would just say stuff and you go, I don't care, and just leave it alone. But you can't leave it alone. You get angry. If you do a video or you do a live stream and people start pointing stuff out, it irritates you to the point where you rage and you rage all night long in your community posts. So, how can you say you don't care when you do things like this and obviously you do care? Am I being vile now? Yeah, but they deserve it. No, you do. Enjoy your last rage stream because it will be the last content for me. Good. So, lesson here, if you look like man boobs and have no life except smoking 2 packs, it's going off on FFG. Good grief. And smoking 2 packs a day around an elderly cat, and don't lie because we saw the cigarette burns in the blanket. Foodie, Foodie, how many times are we going to tell you? French Fry Girl does not physically have BBJ. She's with the sister-in-law. She's with the brother-in-law. She's in another residence. She's in another residence. You keep insisting that BBJ is physically with her. It's she's not. She's being well taken care of. She's being well looked after, but she doesn't live with French Fry Girl. Face-wise, you can even compare FFG and me. You know what? You're right about that, Foodie. You want to know why? Because French Fry Girl can show her real face. She's not hiding behind a bazillion filters. You come on camera and say, I don't have any filters. But girlfriend, you're back to using your Samsung. Or if you're not, you're on your iPhone and you downloaded a bunch of apps to use on your phone. The recent live stream you did, you had the skin smoothing filter on, which glitched out here and there. You had the contour filter on. So don't sit there and say, I don't use filters when you do. French Fry Girl can come on camera without any filters, just being herself. You can't do that. You won't do that. Your filters are a living avatar. Okay. So don't criticize anybody in the community that might be using an avatar who won't come on camera, because when you come on camera, you're not showing who you really are, ma'am. You're not comfortable with yourself. You're ashamed of yourself. So yeah, she's going off on Frenchie yet again. Yet again. This is from Katie. Katie says she looks terrible here. I think that her health may finally catch up to her. Okay. So Foodie, you're in your house. There is air conditioning. You said you got the AC cranked down to what, 69, 70 degrees, and your face is this shiny, like you're literally sweating at 70 degrees. This is bad. This is really, really bad. How are you going to deal in 2 months when it is 114 degrees outside? How are you going to leave the house? How are you going to do vlogs? How are you going to travel? How are you going to take a walk? You're not going to be able to. You are absolutely not going to be able to. And since you've already told us that you're not going to do any cooking content because the stove will heat up the apartment, like what's left? You're not going to do any food content. Soon the temperature is going to be extremely hot and you can't travel. You're going to be in your house and doing exactly what for content? And not just go for YouTube. What about any other platform you're trying to establish yourself on, like Twitch, like Patreon, like OnlyFans or whatever? What content can you do sitting in a box? You can't move. You go to walk across the room and you're drenched in sweat. How's that going to work? How are you going to jump to other platforms and do content if you don't even want to move? I mean, I just like to know. Indy says, I think Sala was out last night and Foodie Beauty was freaking out about it. She's now again threatening him that she will not do YouTube anymore. So he will do whatever she says again. I think it's to manipulate him. It has nothing to do with anyone else. I agree. I agree. Absolutely agree. 100%. I think that by her doing live streams and doing the community post and saying, I'm not doing YouTube anymore, it's a form of manipulation with Foodie. Because if Sala is not working and he's depending on her for money and he goes out and tries to have a little bit of freedom, this is her way of pulling him back in and saying, oh, no, you're not. You're under my control. You're under my thumb. You got to do what I say. The money is coming from me. You can't go out and have fun with the boys or whatever. You have to be at my beck and call. You got to answer the phone when I tell you. And I don't feel bad for Sala. He signed up for this. He wanted this. So he's got to take what comes with Foodie. He's got to take what comes with her. He wanted this life. He's got this life. So he's going to have to deal with it now. This is for We Cry for Food and Shelter. Just some pictures of Foodie. Foodie, Foodie, Foodie. You know, like I used to live in Long Beach and I live in an apartment with no central heat and air, and it would get really, really hot. The temperature inside my house would reach sometimes close to 100 or over 100 degrees, and it would get so hot that you can't even think when you're that hot. All you can think about is it's hot. You're sitting perfectly still and you're dripping in sweat. I can only imagine what Foodie's going to be going through in a couple of months. She's going to be hating life and begging to go back to Canada. And proper credit to your your adjustication. They were the one that posted this picture of the device on the table. It's a little blurry. That's why I had to go back and get my own picture. But I was like, I saw this picture and I'm like, what? And I went back and I'm like, OMG, OMG, Foodie. Right next to the Quran, too. How dare you? Shame on you, Foodie. All right, that's it for everything that having to do with her community post. Foodie over there pulling a tantrum and threatening to leave YouTube and going off on people and even doxing Perfectly Imperfect. She's on one. Maybe she's getting all the rage out before Ramadan because once Ramadan starts, she can't act this way. She's got to get it out of her system before she's got to bottle it all up again. I don't know. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this React video. If you have, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you so much for spending time with me today, and please have a good one. Bye-bye.